welcome to Compose It, Fordham's online writing tutorial series. My name is Liza Zitelli, and I received my master's degree from Fordham in English in 2005, and I'm now expecting my PhD in American Literature within the next year. I've been teaching composition and writing at Fordham for 4 years. This lesson is on run-on sentences. So first, what is a run-on sentence? When you have two independent clauses that are not joined together properly, you have a run-on sentence. Now, what is an independent clause? An independent clause is a group of words that has a subject and a verb, and it can stand alone as a complete thought. For example, Jane Austen's novels explore gender roles in the early 19th century. Novels is the subject, explore is the verb, and gender roles are the direct object. A second example, they illustrate and critique women's economic dependence on men, where they is the subject, illustrate and critique form a compound verb, and women's economic dependence on men is the direct object phrase. Now, it's common in academic writing to combine our thoughts together, creating compound or complex sentences. Not every sentence contains only one thought. For example, we might, as a writer, try to put these two separate thoughts together in one sentence. But there are some rules to follow when combining thoughts and clauses to avoid creating run-on sentences. For example, you cannot simply fuse the clauses together. Jane Austen's novels explore gender roles in the early 19th century. They illustrate and critique women's economic dependence on men. See, above, you'll see what is called a fused sentence, a type of run-on sentence. Read it out loud. It sounds like the speaker is running on, not breaking in between thoughts. Where does the first thought stop? Where does the second begin? Learning to identify fused sentences in your own writing is the first step to eliminating run-on sentences. You also cannot simply add a comma between the independent clauses. Jane Austen's novels explore gender roles in the early 19th century, comma, they illustrate and critique women's economic dependence on men. Here, you see a comma splice, another type of run-on sentence. This kind of error occurs when a writer separates two independent clauses with a comma, but leaves out a coordinating conjunction. Look through your essay carefully. Read sentences out loud as you write. Try to identify each separate independent thought. Are there any that seem to run or fuse into each other? Are there any that seem to be split or spliced by a comma with no words to connect the two ideas? Once you've identified these kinds of problem sentences, the next step is to revise them. Part 2 of this lesson will show you some ways that you can revise run-on sentences and also point out some reasons that you may end up with run-on sentences. Now find the clip Avoiding Run-on Sentences Part 2 and click on it. Thanks for listening.